and I have been doing the Finch app. Have you done this? It's like,
you told me about this.
yeah, it's like Tamagotchi for self-care, essentially. And one of the tasks that you can do is naming your emotion. And it starts with, is it pleasant? Is it neutral? Or is it unpleasant? And then it breaks it out into further categories from there. But I think that's whether you have Cancer placements in your house or not, this is such a good exercise to do on the daily. Check in with yourself because those emotions that you have are valid.
Yes.
You don't need to feel bad about having emotions. There's nothing wrong. That's the human fucking experience. Like, lean into it. It is okay. And like, we talked about this in the Scorpio episode when we did your birthday episode too, is like, energy is passion. And I know that like these very emotional signs can get a bad rap. And as with anything, right? If you are in a space where you're feeling very imbalanced, then you can take those things out. Oh, hey, plant. You can take those things out on the people that you love, right?
Totally.
And like, as moms of daughters, we understand this.
I explored that a lot when I first got into my relationship with Jeff, and then also having children and having a very close relationship with my parents, about how easy it is to hurt the people we love the most. And I was like, why? I'd rather hurt somebody that I don't actually give a shit about and say things to them rather than say things to my husband or my kids who I love so much. But again, when you break down the barriers of security, who do you feel the safest with? Those are the people that you're going to be the most honest with. And there's an art to how to deliver that honesty or that truth or that opinion. Because let's be honest, there's plenty of times where we deliver something and it's an opinion, it's not a fact,
Right.
And it's a feeling. And how we interpret how people affect us and in turn communicate that back to them is also an art. And so all three of my kids, but my girls especially, love to be in tune with their emotions. They also wear their feelings on their sleeves. Like, I can tell when Emmeline comes in what kind of day she's having. She doesn't have to say anything. Sometimes that's better. You know what I mean? Like, earlier today, I was making her lunch and I had made the salad last night for her. So I just said, Emmy, you want a salad for lunch today? Yeah. Okay. Do you want dressing or no dressing? Why? I was like, what? Like, I haven't even had my coffee yet.
How dare you
and
ask?
I was like, why do you want dressing for your salad? I was like, because normally people eat salad with dressing. Oh, no, I don't want any dressing. Cuckoo.
Why would you even assume that, Rachel?
So yeah, so they're complex but also easy at the same time.
I think you bring up a really good point though, because you were talking about when you're sharing something, it can very much be an opinion, right? And you and I are both intuitive beings that are in touch with multiple clairs. And I think about that sometimes too, because if you are an intuitive person or an empath or somebody that is like really diving to that spiritual side, it can be very easy to turn your lived experience on and project and kind of mesh that with your intuition. And I think Cancer season is one of these seasons where we might want to be a little cautious about doing that, because it's so easy. We have all these huge tidal emotions that are happening with the moon right now too. So just heed a little bit of caution if you're giving advice out right now.
Well, and that is good advice to take. And I will also, in conjunction with that, offer up Cancerians. Cancerians. Those who fall with Cancer in their sun, moon, or rising are also highly intuitive as well.
Exactly.
And when you're an intuitive person, you can pick up on things that the person that you're talking to has no fucking clue themselves, right? So you can pick up on underlying trauma. You can pick up on emotions and feelings that they're saying one thing, but they're really saying something else. And this is a good time too to hold on to that and not necessarily feel like you have to share. Because a lot of times people are not receptive when you offer unsolicited advice.
Unslutted advice.
Unsolicited advice. So that in that
I
same
prefer
breath,
my advice to be very slutty.
slutty.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
You slut that up. So just, also heed that too. Like in that same breath of what you're talking about, don't give people unsolicited advice unless someone is asking you specifically for feedback. You just hold on to it.
Even then.
Just hold on to it.
Just hold on to it.
Unless you want that. Like, sometimes, people go picking a fight, looking for a fight.
Yeah.
If you're in that vein, then.
No, thank you. Boundaries, people. Boundaries. This is what we're saying. Have them, heed them, boundaries. Love them, create them, honor them.
Oh, boundaries. If you want to know more about boundaries, we got a whole episode that focuses on that. But
well, I think it's important that during this season, people put a little bit of focus in learning how to care for others without being a doormat. Because I think what can happen is that we put ourselves out there in this energy, right? And then all of a sudden we feel like we've given so much of ourselves that your tank is empty. There's no more to give. And instead of realizing that you've made that choice, you're now projecting that onto other people. So you're making yourself a victim. Fucking snake plant. You're making yourself a victim and a doormat at the same time.
yes.
So give yourself a little care, a little compassion, and it's okay.
It is.
It's okay, friends.
Yeah. It is a good time. Maybe you've been doing that. You've been giving yourself that self-care and you've been working in that space. This is a good time to put yourself out there if you are looking for new relationships. So if you're romantically looking for a new relationship, the energy is really potent right now for making those good connections. If you're looking for new friendships, also a positive time. Maybe you're looking for some new play dates. School's out, but your kids are driving you bananas, even though you thought, can't wait for them to be home. I already know what's coming. And
You just had 3 days of no school because of the storms. And I talked to you at day 2 and you were ready to send your children to boarding school for 4 years, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Listen, it's the toughest and most rewarding job, also known as tough and most. And even on Mother's Day, I was like, it'd be really great if I could just not have any kids. Because I'm in that season where I'm around them all the time, right? So the gift would be going to a spa, having some downtime. I did get a meditation in, so I was happy about that. And we had soccer all day, and that was also fine. It wasn't, unbelievably enjoyable, but it was fine. Jeff wanted to have everyone take me out to dinner, and all of the kids did not want to participate. So Jeff took me out for a margarita pizza.
There you go. Where'd you go?
Anthony's.
Was it good?
It was delicious.
Perfect.
Yep, it was great. So the Cancer season, 2025, is really good for relationships and starting and nurturing.
You hear that, podcast sponsors?
That's right.
It's a really good time to connect with your mystic mamas. Just saying. Shameless plug.